Have you ever wanted to connect with people from all over the world, but when the moment comes, you just freeze? English is your key, but turning a simple hello into a real friendship can feel like a huge, intimidating leap. Well, don't you worry. In this explainer, we're going to break it all down and turn that anxiety into some real confidence.
Welcome back to English from A to Z, English in real life. It is so great to have you here with us as we dive into how to use your English skills to build some genuine, lasting connections.
So, let's just be real for a second. Does the idea of walking up to someone new and starting a conversation in English give you that little flutter in your stomach, that nervous feeling? If you're nodding along, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. It's a feeling that everyone, and I mean everyone, even native speakers, experiences.
And that brings us to the single most important idea we're going to talk about today. Friendship isn't about perfect grammar. It's not a test. It's about a real human connection. People won't remember if you use the right verb tense. They'll remember how you made them feel.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to walk through 5 simple stages. First, breaking the ice. How to just start. Then, finding common ground. Building real trust. Keeping those new friendships going. And finally, connecting with people from all over the world. Ready? Let's do this.
First up, breaking the ice. This is all about that very first moment, that initial hello, and how to make it feel natural and, not super awkward. The very first thing to get into your head is this. You are not the only one who's nervous. Even native English speakers get a little anxious meeting new people. So the goal isn't to be flawless. It's just to be friendly. Your warm energy is way more important than your words. Now, let's look at a super simple formula for this. It really just comes down to 3 easy steps. Step 1, a smile. It's universal and it's your best introduction. Step 2, use a really simple opener. And step 3, ask a friendly question to get the ball rolling. That's it. Simple, right?
And here are some fantastic go-to openers you can use pretty much anywhere. It can be as simple as, "Hi, how's it doing?" Or you can use your surroundings, like, "This place is nice, isn't it?" This is what we call small talk. It's that friendly, low-pressure way that almost all friendships get their start.
Okay, so you've broken the ice. The conversation is started. But now what? How do you keep it going? That brings us right to our next phase, finding common ground. This is where you move from just chatting to actually building a real connection.
So, the secret sauce to every great friendship is shared interests. It could be anything: music, sports, movies, food, you name it. And the way you find those shared interests is through active listening. Really pay attention to what the other person is saying and listen for those little sparks of connection. And a fantastic way to show you're really listening is by using these powerful little reactions. Short, energetic phrases like, "That's awesome," or "Really? Tell me more." They just make the conversation feel alive. It encourages the other person to share more, and it shows you're genuinely interested.
Okay, so we've broken the ice, we've found some common ground. Now we get to the most important part of all, building real trust. This is the stuff that turns a friendly acquaintance into a true friend. Trust isn't something that just magically appears. It grows, slowly, piece by piece. It's built on all these little, consistent acts of honesty, kindness, and just showing you care. It's not about big, grand gestures. It's about proving you care through what you do, not just what you say.
And this is such a perfect way to see it. It's one thing to say, "I'll call you tomorrow," but it's a whole other thing to actually call them. Or remembering some small detail they told you, like asking how their exam went. These are the small actions that build real confidence and show you're someone they can count on.
So here's your little toolkit for building trust. The most important thing? Just be authentic. Be yourself. Show empathy with simple phrases like, "I understand." And always keep your word. Even little things like saying, "I'm so glad we met," can have a huge impact. Now for the really practical part. We've built this awesome connection, but, life gets busy. So how in the world do you keep that friendship alive and stay connected?
Remember this, you do not need to talk every single day to be good friends. It's not about pressure or constant communication. It's all about quality and consistency. Those small, meaningful check-ins that just show you're thinking of them.
And this is what that can actually look like. It starts with a simple chat. A week later, you send a quick, "How's it going?" text. Maybe you share a funny video that made you think of them. And eventually, you suggest meeting up. It's just a series of small, low-pressure steps that keep that connection warm and growing. Finally, let's talk about one of the absolute best parts of learning English, using it as a bridge to connect with people from completely different backgrounds and cultures. When you're making friends across cultures, the most important mindset is just to be curious. Instead of thinking, "That's strange," try thinking, "That's interesting." Ask respectful questions, and at the same time, look for those shared human values we all have, like a love for family or good food. A couple of quick tips. Keep your humor simple because jokes don't always translate. And a really beautiful gesture, learn to say hello in their language. It shows so much respect. Whew. So, as we wrap up this explainer, let's just quickly review the most important ideas to take away from our little journey today. If you remember only one thing from our entire chat, please let it be this. Your kindness, your smile, your genuine interest, that is so much more powerful than perfect grammar. Focus on making the other person feel seen and valued, and I promise you, you will make friends anywhere. And you know what? It all starts right here. The biggest journeys, the most meaningful friendships, they often begin with the tiniest, simplest step. It's not some complicated sentence or a clever joke. It's just, "Hi." That one little word can open up an entire world of connection. So I'll leave you with this question. Armed with all these new ideas, who will you reach out to? Who will you try to connect with this week? You never know. That one simple conversation just might change everything.